warm welcome to Bologna and the final day of the 2019 Europe and Africa Olympic qualifying event here from Stadio Gianni Falchi as we get set to go under stormy skies, little drizzly rain, but dry field conditions as of right now for the final game in this ballpark for the week. 14 degrees Celsius today and expecting rain, hopefully just mist, maybe some light rain, hopefully nothing more than that as the day rolls along today as the host nation Italy gets set to square off with European rival the Netherlands. Hi everybody, my name is Tyler Mon. Great to have you alongside for this one as we get ready to roll for the final game of the week here in Bologna. Two games to be played today in Parma. Rain rescheduling a lot of things. We were scheduled for 1:30 and 8 o'clock, but there you get a look at the standings coming into the final day of this Europe and Africa qualifier. Israel and the Netherlands all even right now at 3-1. However, Israel owns the head-to-head win between those two teams, so with a win today, Israel moves on to play in the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. They are currently in action. They're already underway, a game that has gotten started, and we'll keep you updated on it in the top of the second inning against South Africa now. Israel's got a 1-0 lead in that contest. South Africa, somewhat surprisingly, decided to not go with Dylan Unsworth, its ace coming into this tournament, and instead started Jared Alario and now Garth Cahill on the mound for South Africa, perhaps saving Dylan Unsworth for some point in the middle innings or later innings of this game, but one run across for Israel without the benefit of a hit so far in that contest. And that right now is the only issue and the only result that really matters. If Israel pulls off the victory, that squad is on to the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo. If not, then the result here becomes very important, and you get a look at what this field crew went through to get this ballpark ready to play. This is about an hour ago with the water that the tarp had taken on. Thankfully, a full-size tarp here in Bologna and some wet areas around the foul territory spots in front of the dugouts on the first and third base side. There is the Netherlands on the first base side. This afternoon's visiting teams, our four-man umpiring crew, makes the walk down the baseline. Kevin Sweeney, the one holding the mask, second from your right. Serge Makushichev, he is at first base, and on the right of your screen, Trevor Greed, the tall guy, second from the left, and Jens Vader, our second and third base umpires. Those two, as the four-man crew gets ready to go. Just about 30 minutes past our scheduled first pitch time, but big one today for these two teams. If Israel is able to pull off the victory, clinching its trip to Tokyo, then this game basically takes on the importance of keeping any hopes alive to go to Tokyo, because the second place finisher in this contest would move on to the global qualifying event next year as one of the entrants to try to punch what will be the final ticket to Tokyo 2020. That event is set to be held in March of next year. We got a ceremonial first pitch coming up. You saw the gentleman getting his arm loose down the right field line. That is former three-time Olympic gold medalist skier Alberto Tomba. Alberto will fire out our first pitch here in just a moment. And for Italy and the Netherlands, starting lineups for today's visiting and home team. First for the visitors from the Netherlands. Dwayne Kemp will lead things off. He's at third base. Roger Bernardino, the center fielder, bats second. Ender Clementina is the catcher, batting third. Adamar Rafaela is in left field and hitting fourth. Kalyan Symes will bat in the 5 spot. He's in right field. Signar Flupstock, the designated hitter, bats sixth. Yorendel DeCastro is over there at first base, batting seventh. Jarlin Scope, the second baseman, will hit eighth. And John Poloni is the shortstop, will round out the order for the Netherlands. And that squad will go in support of the right-hander Orlando Intima. Got to start back on Wednesday in the opener of this competition for the Netherlands. And in that game, went 8 solid innings, allowed a run, scattering 8 hits, struck out 7, didn't walk a batter against the Czech Republic. The Netherlands will look to finish off a 4-1 record for the weekend, the reigning European champions from the tournament held 2 weeks prior to the start of this Europe and Africa qualifying event. Italy fell in the final of that competition and trying to get some revenge and maybe keep hopes alive of advancing to Tokyo themselves. the starting lineup for today's home team looks like this. There is one big change in the Italy lineup, and that guy who's been hitting the top spot in the middle parts of the order, Drew Maggi, is not with the team today. He was suspended as part of an altercation, a fracas that took place last night after the final out of the game between Italy and Spain. A brawl broke out, and Maggi was the one suspended on the Italy side. 7 players suspended on Spain's side. So Spain will be going light-handed today in its final game of the Europe and Africa qualifier. Italy defensively, Poma, Andrioli, and Reginato left, center, and right. Epifano, Cecchini, Vaglio, and Mazzanti around the horn on the infield. Mineo behind the plate. And Alessandro Maestri trying to atone for a rough start in his debut outing of this Europe and Africa qualifying event. Maestri lasted just a couple of innings in a matchup with South Africa, actually 3 innings. Here's the Europe and Africa representatives from the Little League World Series. Italian club in the house for the home team. As Italy takes the field, and we're just about ready to go on a Sunday afternoon in Bologna. Alex Maestri, the loss, or the start rather, in day 1 of this competition back against South Africa. 3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned, 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. And we welcome Alberto Tomba onto the pitcher's mound, or at least close to it, where he'll get set to fire out the first pitch for this afternoon's festivities. A handshake for Italy's ace right-hander. Alberto from the Emilia-Romagna region, San Lazzaro di Savena, 3-time gold medalist, 2-time gold medalist in the World Championships in the slalom and giant slalom. He won a couple of golds in Calgary in 1988, and he rifles in a strike to get us started here on Sunday afternoon. Also an Olympic medal in Albertville, the gold in the giant slalom in '92. Took silver in the slalom that year, and silvered again in Lillehammer in 1994. So the first pitch in from the legendary skier, and Alex Maestri will get set to throw one of his own here in the top half of the first inning as he gets set to go to work against Dwayne Kemp, Roger Bernardina, and Hendrik Clementina. Kemp will be the leadoff man for the Netherlands today. Dwayne, so far in the tournament, has been pressed into leadoff duty because of an injury suffered by Carlton Dahl, who was in the midst of a really, really good tournament. Dahl 5 for his first 11 with a double, and then injured himself 2 nights ago, sliding headfirst into the second base bag on a stolen base. Roberto Mineo donning the mask behind the plate, and Dwayne Kemp will step around him and into the batter's box, and we're just about set to go 5 minutes after 12:30 in the afternoon here on a Sunday in Bologna. The locals here said it was a beautiful August and a gorgeous start to September. They hadn't had rain in over 3 weeks as Dwayne Kemp fouls the first pitch away third base side, and we are underway at 12:34 in the afternoon. But the baseball arrives and brings the rain with it, it appears. Until Martinez in the first base coach's box. He's got a jersey with all the lettering on it today. That's a good thing. Discussing the other night, his orange jersey did not have the "of the" on the left side of it, as Kemp lifts one in the air out to center, moving over to it Andrioli. 1 up, 1 down. Martinez's jersey just said Kingdom Netherlands. Somebody got a little overzealous trying to get the jerseys out of the factory somewhere. He's out there in a fully stitched uniform here today as a good crowd has filed in for this Sunday afternoon matchup. Kind of a bummer that the originally scheduled nighttime finale for this Bologna facility had to be moved today because of the weather, but we are expecting heavier rain as the day goes along. So thankfully, underway just 34 minutes past our scheduled start time today. Rescheduled start time, I should say. As Gavin Cecchini will field and fire, retiring Roger Bernardina. And a quick first couple of outs for Alex Maestri, who really struggled in the first inning against South Africa back on the first day of this tournament. Faced 8 batters in that first inning. First 3 reached on hits against him. Got a couple of strikeouts, but then hit a man with a pitch to bring in a run. Gave up an RBI single behind it. It was a 3-0 lead for South Africa after 1. South Africa trying to play the role of spoiler today as they square off with Israel. But Israel's got 4 runs on the board in the top of the second inning. With the win, Israel's through. Count a ball and a strike on Endrick Clementina, the catcher, out of the 3 spot. Clementina 3 for 9. Getting his work behind the plate for the Netherlands here in Italy. A couple of doubles, 1 RBI. 1-2 pitch on the way to him. And a couple of hops out to Giuseppe Mazzanti at first. 3-1 goes the put out. 3 up, 3 down goes the Netherlands in the top of 1. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning. The Netherlands scoreless in Italy coming up. Bottom of the first inning, first look for the top third of the order of this host nation Italy's lineup against the right-hander Orlando Intima, who gets the start today on the mound for the Netherlands. 8 innings of work against the Czech Republic on the first day of the tournament for Intima. Scattered 8 hits, only allowed 1 run, struck out 7, did not walk a batter, 92 pitches, 64 of them for strikes. And Intima gets ready to face Sebastiano Poma, the left fielder, who will lead things off. Poma, then Gavin Cecchini, the shortstop, and Chris Colabello, the designated hitter. Good to see Colabello back in the lineup. He was hit by a pitch a couple of nights ago. Took a pitch in the face, actually, in his team's game against Israel, the first of back-to-back losses for Italy. And last night, some frustration boiling over for this Italian side in that end-of-game brawl with Spain. And obviously an unfortunate way to see any game come to an end, as this one bounced over the first. You're in double caster, 1 up, 1 down. But for Italy, there's obviously a lot of disappointment. This is a team that was playing host to this Europe and Africa qualifier, coming off of a really, really good European Championships, and feeling like with the additions of major leaguers Pat Venditti and Gavin Cecchini, who steps into the box here, felt like, man, this is the time to make the biggest step on the international baseball stage and punch a ticket to the Olympic Games. It has not gone that way. Gavin Cecchini, 4 for 16 in the tournament, the former first-round draft selection of the New York Mets in Major League Baseball in the United States. Colabella waiting in the on-deck circle. Intima kicks and deals, and off the end of the bat, Cecchini will face another 1-2 pitch. Italy has an offense, a .248 team batting average through its first 4 games, .723 team OPS. They've scored 20 runs over the course of these 4 days here in home ballparks. But finding themselves eliminated from Olympic contention at 2-2, headed into the final day here in Bologna. Keep you updated on that one in Parma that is underway. They are in the top of the 3rd inning. Israel with a 4-0 lead over South Africa. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cecchini. Gavin, the former 12th overall selection in the Major League Baseball first-year player draft, lifts this one in the air right side. Carlin Scope staring up into that high sky. Actually, today more of a low sky. It's just a lot of depth of gray up there, which sometimes makes for a challenge trying to make a play on a pop-up, but no trouble for Scope, and that'll bring up Colabella with 2 outs and the bases empty. Colabello most recently playing independent baseball, a former member of a whole bunch of different organizations in the minor leagues in the United States. Minnesota Twins, where he made his climb and reached the major leagues back in 2013. Also spent some time with the Toronto Blue Jays. And then in the minor league ranks for the Cleveland Indians and Milwaukee Brewers. Colabello's age 31 season with Toronto back in 2015, he played in 101 major league games and batted .321 with an .886 OPS. 15 homers that year, 54 runs batted in. Some really good numbers, but just has not seen the same major league success since. He only played in 10 big league games the following year with Toronto and has not been back to the majors since 2016. This past year, a couple of independent league stops. Kansas City T-Bones of the American Association, the Sugarland Skeeters of the Atlantic League. 35 years old, Colabello. Ball and 2 strikes on him. Intima kicks and comes home. And out to left field. That'll get down to the first base hit of the game. Chris Colabello, you can see that face guard that he's wearing, kind of fitting. I think yesterday was International Batman Day. It's that's the mood Chris Colabello's in with the shield after taking the pitch off of his face a couple of nights ago against Israel. Thankfully, back and okay. And Giuseppe Mazzanti steps in with 2 outs and 1 on. Orlando Intima, the right-hander, getting the nod today for the Netherlands. Signed by the San Francisco Giants as a teenager. Made his debut in that organization back in 2004. off the plate outside. Intima climbed up to the Class A level with the Giants organization. He has pitched in both the Italian Baseball League, or Catania, back in 2010, and also in the Dutch Major League since 2011. Two balls, one strike, two gone. Intima kicks and deals. Spring the runner to second base. Wild pitch out of the reach of Clementina. So runner in scoring position now. Bazzanti can capitalize on the wild pitch. 3 balls and a strike. Intima kicks and deals, and a chopper out towards short. Tough play, long run for John Polonius. His throw to first. Nice dig on the other side by Yorendel DeCaster, and that will wrap things up here in the bottom of the first inning. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left on, and we move into the second, all scoreless between the Netherlands and Italy on the final day of the Europe and Africa Baseball Olympic Qualifier from Bologna. Quick top of the first inning for Alessandro Maestri as we head to the top of 2. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the Netherlands. In to face the right-hander. Adamar Rafaela will lead things off, then Kalyan Sams and Siknar for Loopstock. Left fielder, right fielder, and designated hitter. Loopstock hadn't seen a whole lot of action until the latter days of this weekend's tournament. He was one of the reserves pressed into duty with the injury to Carlton Dahl. Dahl going down, moved John Polonius around and Charlene Scope around as well. Put Dwayne Kemp in the defensive alignment. He's been serving as the DH primarily. So Loopstock taking over that role. Pitch on the way from Maestri. Skied left side, foul ground, long run for anybody. This one will get down in no man's land. Europe and Africa qualifier will wrap up today, but we've got a lot coming up on the international baseball calendar starting in November. Premier 12 returns. The second edition of the World Baseball Softball Confederation's flagship event, held for the first time 4 years ago in Taiwan and Japan. Ball out to Chikuma. Leadoff man retired. We will get things started in 42 days for Premier 12. Earliest games will be in Mexico. Guadalajara will play host to A action at the Estadio de Baseball Charros de Jalisco. The United States, the world's number 2. Mexico, the 6th-ranked team on the WBSC table. The Netherlands, a lot of the same guys that we have seen over the few days here in Italy will be on that squad. And the Dominican Republic, the world's number 12, the last place qualifier among the top 12 ranked national teams, will be united in Premier 12. Those are the 4 headed to Mexico: U.S., Mexico, Netherlands, Dominican. And those teams will get started and finish between the first 4 days of Premier 12's competition. Everybody else won't get started until November 5th. So starting on November 2nd, Group A will play for 4 days. Group B will get started in Taiwan on November 5th. They will play through the 7th. And Group C in Korea, they'll go from the 6th to the 8th. 2 teams from each group advancing to the Super Round to be played at Jose Marine Stadium in the Tokyo Dome from November 11th through the 16th. And then the World Championship Final and the bronze medal game to be played on Sunday the 17th at the Tokyo Dome, and that is going to be a whole lot of fun. Group B, Chinese Taipei, Japan, Venezuela, Puerto Rico. Group C, Korea, Cuba, Australia, and Canada. 3-2 pitch misses low, and a 1-out walk for Sams, the first base runner to reach on the Netherlands side. That'll bring up Signar Flugstad. Premier 12, such a tremendous success 4 years ago, and now with its added importance of serving as a baseball qualifying event for the Olympics, makes things all the more dramatic and important. Fly ball to left. Homa back near the warning track to grab it. 2 gone. There's some news this week out of the KBO, the Korea Baseball Organization, that the Kia Tigers have shut down their star lefty, Jeon Jung-yong, for the remainder of the KBO season to get him some rest ahead of the Premier 12. He was the KBO's MVP in 2017. Participated in the WBSC U18 Baseball World Cup back in 2006. He is the KBO's ERA leader, 2.29 this year. 16-8 record to go along with it. Kia Tigers not in the playoff mix in the KBO this year. And Chung Moon Kim, the manager of Korea's national team, likely getting his ace a little bit of rest. Pitch is high, but the throw to second base is in time to nab Kalian Sams, trying to get himself in scoring position, and the caught stealing ends things for the Netherlands here in the second. Netherlands will send the minimum, and we will go to the bottom of the second inning. All scoreless after an inning and a half between the Netherlands and Italy in Bologna. Bottom of the second inning. A one-out walk does no damage to Italy in the top of 2. So we go to the bottom half of this frame. It'll be 5, 6, and 7. Alberto Mineo, Alessandro Vaglio, and John Andrioli, the 3 into the batter's box. Here in the bottom of 2. Back at Stadio Gianni Falchi. My name is Tyler Ron. Thanks for joining us here for the last 5 days in Italy. Same if you were with us a couple of weeks ago for the 2019 U18 Baseball World Cup in Busan, South Korea. Just outside of Busan, I should say. Gijong Hyundai Dream Ballpark, the host site for another really, really good U18 World Cup that saw Chinese Taipei and the United States' dominant run in that event. The U.S. had won 4 straight U18 Baseball World Cups. Chinese Taipei edging the U.S. with a 2-1 victory in the World Championship final 2 weeks ago today. Alberto Mineo, the backstop today for Italy. 2 for 5 in his team's opening game of this tournament against South Africa. I got him started on what seemed like the right foot. Since then, he's only added 1 hit. 3 for 13 in total in the tournament. One of those hits, a home run, he hit that night. 3-2, swings and foul tips that one. Able to stay alive. Which misses down low to him. Ball 4. That's a man as a leadoff walk to get things started in the bottom of the second. Alessandro Vaglio, guy who's got a lot of fans in this area. Vaglio has spent a lot of time playing in Bologna in the Italian Baseball League over the course of his career. Fortitudo Bologna, the reigning Italian Baseball League champions, and love this team around here. Chopper left side. Polonius the second for 1. Scope, nice transition with the hands and an even better dig on the other side as DeCaster is able to dig out a low throw on the backhand. And I think the argument is maybe that his foot wasn't on the bag. Polonius starting this. It's a great job by Scope to make that catch and throw. And that's basically full speed replay. It looked as though DeCaster kind of kept his foot on the bag and steadied himself with the bare hand to make the catch before coming out. We are going to get a look at it, but I don't think this is a challenge that's going to go Italy's way. I think it's not going to help us. Better look. Either way, Alberto Mineo is out at second base on the 6-4 put out there. Caster knows he got it. Umpire Kevin Sweeney on the right ear screen. Serge Makushichev from France, the umpire on the left. Serge definitely has the most cumbersome last name of our umpiring group, Makouchetechev. But he told me one day that I had pronounced it correctly, so I just keep mumbling my way through it. It's definitely an out at first. hoping that it'll sound right every other time I say it. Serge's a good dude. We got a chance to talk a little bit riding around Bologna yesterday between games. Went down into the city center and saw the old medieval towers and cathedrals and all kinds of beautiful sights. Trevor Grieve, our second base umpire this afternoon, he was with us yesterday as well. Keeps himself loose. It is a chilly day in Bologna. Rain and it's not a real baseball feeling kind of day. Although maybe it is a late September baseball feeling day as the double play is confirmed. So 2 out. Base is cleared, and that'll bring up John Andrioli. Temperatures in the upper teens Celsius today, about 61 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and the rain is expected to get heavier and more likely as the day rolls along. So that's the reason behind moving this up from an 8 p.m. scheduled first pitch to what was slated for 12 o'clock. Ended up getting started about 12:34. Foul by John Andrioli, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Andrioli, a draft selection of the Chicago Cubs back in 2011. Spent 2019 between the Seattle Mariners and Minnesota Twins organizations. This one is popped up right side and playable for DeCasser. Makes the grab, and that will wrap things up in the second. Leadoff walk doesn't do any damage, just as the 1-out walk on the other side did no damage in the second. We had the third, still scoreless between the Netherlands and Italy on the final day of the Europe and Africa qualifier from Bologna. Top of the third inning, the bottom third of the order for the Netherlands. 7, 8, 9, Yorendo De Castro will lead things off. Charlon Scope behind him, and John Polonius, the trio due in the top of the third inning. Back at Stadio Gianni Falchi in Bologna. Kind of a gross weather day, but a day on which we are playing baseball, and that is the only thing that matters. Thought we would have left all of the rain in South Korea, but that has not been the case. Ball on 2 strikes on the leadoff man, DeCaster, to get things started in the top half of the third. Alessandro Maestri, who was roughed up a little bit by South Africa in 3 innings of work back on Wednesday, he has found an early groove on Sunday afternoon. Now 1 gone in the third. I'll bring up Charlon Scope. First pitch there for a strike to him. Scope so far in the tournament, just 2 for 13 coming into the day today. looper out right side. It's Zanti over there at first base today. Back to make the play on it. 2 gone quickly here in the top of the 3rd. That sends it to John Polonius out of the 9 spot. John, a 3 for 12 line. This Netherlands team, which was just outrageously good offensively in the European Championship in Germany the last couple of weeks, they have not been the same here in Italy. Hot shot grounder, Eric Epifano gets his first play of the day and makes it a good one. 3 up, 3 down goes the Netherlands in the 3rd. They have sent the minimum through 3. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning, still scoreless here in Bologna.
Abbi pazienza, non è semplice. Scusa. Se riesci
Leadoff man for Italy in the bottom of the 3rd inning is Mattia Reginato, the right fielder out of the 8th spot in the order. Eric Epifano after his terrific play over at 3rd base to end the top half of the 3rd. He'll bat 2nd in this inning. Reginato, that Italian flag sleeve peeking out from under his right jersey sleeve, and he wastes no time. Laces a first pitch single out to left. Both hits for Italy have gone that direction. Out to Adamar Raffaella, and with the leadoff man on, that brings up the 9-hole hitter, Eric Epifano. Raffaella lost that ball for a moment, but recovers quickly. 2nd hit of the day for the host nation and today's home team. Disappointing showing with losses in each of their last 2 games, but Italy still alive for a trip to the global qualifying event next year. With a potential Olympic berth on the line. Runner. Kind of a delayed steal there from Reginato, but not going to matter as the pitch is poked foul. No balls and 2 strikes on Eric Epifano. Epifano just 3 at-bats coming into the day today in the tournament. 0 for 3, does have 1 RBI. But with Drew Maggi suspended following the fight last night, the depth tested a little bit for Italy today. It'll be tested substantially more so for Spain, which will be playing later against the Czech Republic, down 7 players after melee post-game last night. Spain took a 4-3 victory over Italy and eliminated the host nation completely from Olympic contention. As another nice dig by Yolanda Lacastro, who's made 3 of those over at first base today. Epifano grounds out. That'll basically function as a sacrifice. It pushes Reginato in a scoring position. And 1 gone. Lionel Card will turn over, and Sebastiano Poma steps in for his 2nd at bat. That was a great play by Dwayne Kemp on the bare hand. And DeCoster has done a fantastic job over at first today. Sebastiano Poma grounded out to first base in his first trip to the plate. Shift is on against him. John Polonius is
still on the left side of the second base bag from Poma's vantage point, but Charlon Scope is pulled way over toward first. He's playing on the lip of the outfield grass. Coster is shaded right over toward the first base line. 2 balls and no strikes on Poma. Bastiano, who has played for Parma and San Marino in his Italian Baseball League time, which comes inside. 3 balls and no strikes on him. Poma 1 for 8 in the tournament, but he's done a pretty good job getting on base. A couple of walks in addition to the 1 hit. 1 for 9 now in total after his first inning ground out. 3-0 pitch. He's there for a called strike 1. Reginato at second. Fresh mouthful of sunflower seeds. Us 3-1. Bouncing ball over to first again. DeCoster will, for the second time, retire Poma 3 unassisted. Ground out moves Reginato to third base. With 2 outs, it'll fall to Gavin Cicchini to try to get him home. Gavin Cicchini, former first-round selection of the New York Mets. Made his Major League debut in 2016. But this year was designated for assignment by the Mets. Spent the season in the minor leagues, was not healthy all the way through this year. Played in just 48 games combined between AA, AAA, and a rehab assignment to Class A short season. "36 big league games over parts of 2 seasons for Gavin, 2016 and 2017. Takes the 1-1. Low. No swing, says Serge Mikushichev over at first base. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 gone. Reginato leadoff single, went to second on a ground out, to third on a ground out, and he's waiting 1 station away in a scoreless game in the 3rd. Bouncing ball over to Kemp, who kicks it off the heel of the glove, and Italy's onto the board with a 1-0 lead. Dwayne Kemp trying to field the ball on an upward trajectory and just kicks it. Italy takes advantage with the first run of the game. That does go as an error, as you would assume. Charge to Kemp over at third, and the E5 gives Italy a 1-0 lead and brings a visit to the pitcher's mound. Jerzy van Doornspeek, the listed pitching coach on the Netherlands roster, although it has been a hoodie kind of weekend. There is Chris Colabello doing his best Batman impression with the face guard on. It's just great to see Chris in the lineup after taking a pitch to the face a couple of nights ago against Italy, or against Israel rather. I say it's great to see Chris in the lineup. If I was an opposing pitcher, I would not be saying that. He's a scary dude. So far, in this tournament. 6 for 15, Colabello coming into the day today. Now 7 for 16 after his single back in the first inning. 2 doubles, 2 homers, 8 runs batted in. A 1 count here in the bottom of the third. It's got to be strange to hit with that face guard on. I would think it's something you don't see too often in baseball. You'll see it in other sports. Basketball comes to mind, especially with those kind of eye masks, the plastic guards for guys who've suffered, especially nose injuries, but facial injuries of certain varieties. And it's just an adjustment thing that you probably haven't had to make it any other time in your life if you're Chris Colabello, wearing a face guard. One there for a strike, and the count is 1-2. Right-hander Intima comes set. Outfield straight away against Colabello. 1-2. High. Giuseppe Mazzanti in the on-deck circle, hoping he'll get a shot in this inning. Italy with a run on the board. And the error charged to Dwayne Kemp. Two-two pitch. Colabello ready again. Another 2-2 on the way from Intima. Over to third. Kemp's got this one on a higher hop. And he gets it to scope to retire the side. But Italy brings a run across on the run-scoring error charged to the Netherlands' third baseman. And we head to the top of the fourth. Italy with a 1-0 lead. First run on the board on Sunday afternoon goes to Italy, and we head the middle third of this game. A 1-0 lead for the home team over the Netherlands. Dwayne Kemp will lead things off as the unearned tally last inning, giving Italy the early advantage. Kemp, the leadoff man in the lineup for this Netherlands team. His team sending only 9 in its first 3 innings. Only base runner to reach against Alessandro Maestri was back in the second inning. Callion Sounds with a 1-out walk. He was erased on a caught stealing. So effectively 9 up, 9 down against distance. Maestro hasn't been perfect, but was not allowed a hit. 0-2 pitch. He's going to reach on a strike 3 as that ball springs off of the, I think, the shin guard of Alberto Mineo and pops up over his head. So that will, oddly enough, go as the first strikeout of the day for Maestri, but it'll allow the base runner to get things started. First leadoff base runner of the day for the Netherlands here in the 4th, and it brings up Roger Bernardino. Bernardino from Willemstad, Curaçao. Those are a lot of players on this Netherlands roster. Part of the dominion from which this country can draw its players for all these international competitions. Bernardino, former major leaguer, made his big league debut with the Washington Nationals back in 2008. Last saw time in the major leagues in 2014. Most recently, 34 games in the Mexican League with Union Laguna in the state of Coahuila in Mexico. 34 games this past summer. 336, 401, 484 his slash line. Dude still got it at 35 years old. Bernardino will possibly, I would say, play again in one of the winter leagues. On the right field line, there's going to be extra bases. It drops and cranks off the wall. Kemp flying around third base. He'll get a late stop sign as Reginato able to hustle it back in, but it's a double behind the leadoff drop third strike. And it is now second and third for the Netherlands. That's the first hit of this game for today's visiting team. Dwayne Kemp motoring. Brings up Ender Clementina. Clementina grounded out to first base back in the first inning. First pitch to him off the plate. Alessandro Maestri, the Wednesday start against South Africa started so rough for him. First 3 reached and 3 came across, scoring in the first inning in that game. Bottom of the first inning with South Africa as the home team that night. We never really got a chance to see him get into a groove. He only pitched 3 innings, and he was terrific through the first 3 innings here. Struggling in the second and third. And a 3-0 count on Clementina. Ball 4. So they are loaded up right out of the gate in the 4th, and that brings up Adamar Rafaela. It looks as though the results of this one may not matter in the chase for an Olympic berth. We'll get a visit to the pitcher's mound from Dennis Cook, the pitching coach for Italy. Israel's got a 6-0 lead over South Africa. With a win, Israel will punch its ticket to the 2020 Olympic Games. If the Netherlands comes back to win this one, those 2 teams would finish with even records at 4-1, but one loss for the Netherlands was to Israel, so that head-to-head matchup give Israel the edge. Israel also with a big win in that one. 8-1 was the final. They also beat Italy 8-2, so did themselves some favors with those big margins of victory also if it were to come down to tiebreakers. So nobody out in this inning. Rafaela the batter, and after the visit to the mound, first pitch is off the plate to him, and it's ball one. Kevin Sweeney, our home plate umpire, hearing it a little bit from fans behind the plate, but that was certainly a ball. This one spoiled into the screen, putting the count even. Third base, Dwayne Kemp. Second base, Roger Bernardino. First base, Hendrik Clementina. Maestri home on 1-1. Count goes in the right-hander's favor. Alex pitched in 2 games in the European Championship. Really didn't fare that well in Germany. Did not record a decision, but pitched 10 innings, allowed 7 runs, all earned on 10 hits, 9 strikeouts and 3 walks. Brilliant through his first 3 innings here today. Now in a jam in the 4th. Popped up. This will get into the outfield, so no infield. No, there is an infield fly rule now in effect as second base umpire Trevor Grieve puts it on. The catch made regardless by Gavin Cecchini, and 1 man gone here in the top of the 4th. It's always kind of at an umpire's discretion there how far the infield fly rule extends. Cecchini there camped out. One gone. Callion Sams, the right fielder, steps in. First pitch is off the plate inside. Even Sams kind of nodded at that ball call, knowing, I think, that was pretty much the inner border of the zone that pitch missed off of. It was close. Thankfully, everybody able to get out of the way of that hot shot bouncer third base side. A ball and a strike on the big right fielder. Doesn't fire the hands, and he takes that one for a strike. Nice pitch from Maestri. Bases loaded, nobody out in this inning. Now 1 out. Alex trying to work through it. 1-2. Out to short. That could be it. Cecchini kicks it briefly, flipped to second for 1, on to first. That's not going to get the double play done, and it will bring in the game time run. And we are all level at a run apiece here in the top of the 4th. It is a 6-4 put out as Clementina is retired, but Sams will reach on the RBI fielder's choice. Bernardino moves into third base with Kemp scoring. And a 1-1 game in the 4th. Cecchini going down, knowing he was going to catch that one on a weird hop. And just being able to keep it in front and get the out, that's the most important thing. So now first and third, 2 gone. Signar Flupstock, the batter, and they are reloaded. Flupstock right off the left shoulder. So Alex Maestri with now a jam of his own making, really. Issues the walk to Clementina. Gets 1 base of breathing room out there for the base traffic with runners at the corners, and then immediately plunks Loopstock to reload them. So just one hit in this game for the Netherlands. This inning has been one of those tutorials of how many ways you can reach base. Strikeout wild pitch for the leadoff base runner, then a double, walk, fielder's choice, hit by pitch. Those are all the ways guys have found their path to first here in the top of the 4th inning. No balls and 2 strikes now on Urindo Lecaster, the 7th man to bat in the inning for the Netherlands. 0-2 pitch. Blocked. And good job by Alberto Mineo to keep that close. One ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander ready. 1-2, bounced off of his glove and out to Cecchini. Gavin's not going to have a play at second, and he's not going to get the throw to first in time to have a play there either. Everybody's safe, and the Netherlands takes the lead. We'll see how that goes scored. Maestri altering the bounce of that ball, and then Cecchini just kind of fumbled it, and I think that'll go as an error on the shortstop, but we will see. There are some things we know about these tournaments in recent weeks. As broadcasters, we rarely get the scoring decisions right, and we rarely get the replay reviews right. Either way, Bernardina scores. Everybody else moves up. Soms into third base, Loopstock into second. Toward right center. That's in for a base hit. That's going to bring home 2. Soms is in from third base. Loopstock from second. Behind him, sliding into third, is DeCastro ahead of the throw. And a 2-run knock for Charlon Scope. And the Netherlands has broken through here with 4 runs in the top of the 4th. It's a 4-1 lead. Credited that as an infield single, by the way, for DeCastro back up the middle. But Scope coming through in the big spot for his team, and a 2-out rally brings the end of the day for Alessandro Maestri. So just not an easy couple of weeks on the pitcher's mound for Italy's ace. And the home team has to go to the bullpen. We'll step aside for a timeout and tell you about the new arm when we return. 4-1, Netherlands jumping out in front here in the 4th. Right-hander reliever Angelo Palumbo takes over on the mound for Italy as we move along in the top of the 4th inning. Netherlands sent just 9, sending the minimum each of its first 3 innings, and they will send all 9 here in the top of the 4th. John Polonius, the last man in the order, steps into the batter's box as the first one to face Palumbo. Angela Palumbo, former member of the Baltimore Orioles organization and the minor leagues over in the U.S. A guy who in this tournament has gotten work in one game, actually as a starter. That was back against the Czech Republic. Picked up the victory with 6 innings of solid work in a 5-1 Italy win. Scattered 7 hits, 1 run, earned a walk and 2 strikeouts. Palumbo, though, inheriting a tough inning and a threat still looming for the Netherlands. Runners at first and third with 2 gone. And puts a breaking ball down into the dirt. Two balls and a strike on John Polonius. Polonius not sure that long stare down at the third base coach's box for signs with runners at the corners and 2 outs. I'm surprised if anything was on here, but the count is even on him now, 2-2. Palumbo. Set and pause, 2-2 pitch. Off of the outside corner, probably on strike 3. The count goes full on Polonius. That'll release the runner Scope from first base. Palumbo deals, runner moving, shot to left field, and that will do it for the Netherlands here in the 4th. But not before the visiting team brings home 4 runs in the inning. And we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Netherlands out in front 4-1 over Italy here in Bologna. Four-run top of the 4th inning for the Netherlands puts the visiting team in control as we head to the bottom of the 4th. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for Italy. Giuseppe Mazzanti, the designated hitter, set to lead things off. Alberto Mineo, the catcher, will follow him, and then Alessandro Vaglio as first pitch swinging, a drive high and deep out to left field, moving back on an Adamar Raffaello to the warning track, and that is off the wall. It's Bernardina to get it back into the infield, but it's a leadoff double for Giuseppe Mazzanti on the first pitch at the bottom of the 4th. Something had a lot of carry to it. And nearly got out of here. So leadoff base runner in scoring position. Chance for Mineo, who goes first pitch swinging, and he lifts one in the air to the outfield. Easier play for Bernardina. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. That brings up the second baseman, Valio. Valio bounced into a 6-4-3 double play in his first trip to the plate back in the 2nd inning. Alessandro coming into the day today, 6 for 17. 353 batting average. All of his hits singles. Trying to bring home that leadoff double. We're in the bottom of 4.
Yes.
One balls and 2 strikes. I think that was called on the pitch and not the swing. Oh, 2 on the way. Just misses. The count at a ball and 2 strikes. One, 2 on the way to Valio. Inside corner. Orlando Intima was played all over internationally in his professional career. Guy was doing good work as a starter here for this Netherlands team. That is primarily his experience in the Dutch Major League. He relieved a lot as a minor league prospect of the San Francisco Giants organization in the United States. Full count on the right-handed hitting Valio. Pitch on the way to him. What a bat here from the Italy second baseman. Mazzanti out at second base, a leadoff double in this inning. 3-2 pitch. Line down the right field line, that's foul as well. Great battle from Valio. Donnie Andreoli waiting in the on-deck circle. Two pitch, but first a look at second base. I don't think Giuseppe Mazzanti is going anywhere. Veteran first baseman out there in scoring position. That might have been a circumstance where Intima just didn't like the pitch that he had agreed to. Wanted an opportunity to get another call. Valio continues to fight. We're in a full count in the bottom of the 4th. 3-2 again. And that is on a foul tip into the glove of Clementina. Strike 3, and Insima wins the battle. First strikeout of the day for the Netherlands right-hander. I don't often see a foul tip on a check swing like that. But it nabs the second out of the inning for the Netherlands, and it brings up John Andrioli, who popped out to first base in his first trip to the plate. Fastball to him stays up high. Andrioli most recently in his professional career in the United States, splitting time between the Seattle Mariners and the Minnesota Twins in 2019. 116 total games at AAA, 255 hitter and 837 OPS. Fouls went back into the screen. His fortunes, though, wildly different between those two organizations. When he was with the AAA Tacoma Rainiers in the very offensive-friendly Pacific Coast League, one of the two AAA leagues in the United States, batted .290 with a .927 OPS in 73 games. With Rochester in the International League, 43 games, .196 the batting average, .684 the OPS. And one is off the plate. Traded to the Seattle Mariners organization back in June by the Minnesota Twins. And he had just been traded to Minnesota in March by the San Francisco Giants. Very well-traveled guy, John Andrioli. Originally drafted by the Chicago Cubs in the 17th round of the 2011 Major League Baseball first-year player draft. Made his big league debut on May 23rd, 2018. And skies one down the right field line. Cruising over to a scope pool, crossing the foul ground to make the grab. And that will retire the side. That leadoff double goes nowhere for Italy here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. We are headed to the fifth. It's the Netherlands with a 4-1 lead in Bologna. First full inning of work for Angelo Palumbo, who steps back to the pitcher's mound after coming on in relief to get the final out of the top half of the fourth inning for Italy. A run in the bottom of the third for the home team today, and then 4 yielded in the top of the fourth. Final line in this game for Alessandro Maestri, the starter for Italy. Alex goes 3 2/3, gives up 4 runs, all earned on 3 hits. 2 walks and just 1 strikeout for him. And first pitch fastball is there for a strike to Dwayne Kemp back at the top of the order. So the Netherlands in its first 3 innings sent the minimum. 9 up, 9 down with the exception of a 1-out walk in the second for Callian Sams, who was retired on a caught stealing. Gone here in the 5th. And then they sent all 9 in the 4th. And brought home 4 of them, leaving 2 aboard. And that leadoff out may have been the only one that Italy's coaching staff was hoping to get out of Angelo Palumbo in this inning, and that looks to be the case. So Italy will go to the bullpen. We'll step aside for a timeout and tell you about the second reliever into this game for the home team when we return. 4-1, Netherlands with the lead. New arm into the game for Italy as we move along in the top half of the 5th inning is the lefty Yomel Rivera. Angelo Palumbo comes on, gets a couple of outs, and hands things off to Rivera, who has been pretty good in relief for this Italian national team. Inning in 2/3 against South Africa back on Friday in the resumption of the game from Wednesday. Chopper over to first base. Or check that, Giuseppe Mazzanti over there today. Feed to Yomel Rivera. Inning in 2/3 against South Africa. Hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts, and no walks for Rivera. And 2 outs here in the top of the 5th, and it brings up Hendrik Clementina. Clementina, who has been to the plate twice today, walked back in the 4th inning. That loaded the bases, getting things started. In that 4-run frame for the Netherlands. It was a leadoff strikeout wild pitch that allowed Dwayne Kemp to reach. And Roger Bernardino with a double put runners at 2nd and 3rd. A walk for Clementina, loaded the bases. Netherlands brought home 4. Taking the 2-0 pitch to him is tagged to left field, and that will drop in front of Sebastiano Pomos. And the first hit of the day for Clementina. Second time he's been aboard. 4th hit on the afternoon for the Netherlands. Set up a lefty-lefty matchup between Rivera and Rafaela. Rafaela, a member of the Baltimore Orioles organization in the minor leagues in the United States. Spent 2019 between AA Bowie and AAA Norfolk. '98 games with those 2 teams this year. Batted .249 with a .736 OPS. It's there for a strike to him, and it's 0-2. for 3 so far today. Ground out to short in the second inning, pop out to short in the fourth. And swings and lines this one out to left. That's down for a base hit. It's cut off by Poma. We'll hustle it back in and hold Clementina to a 1-base advance. Back-to-back singles after 2 quick outs started this inning. Yomel Rivera dealing with a little bit of a jam, with Callion Sam stepping in. Another visit to the pitcher's mound in this inning. And yeah, it looks like we will get a change as Italy's going to have to go to the pen, summon a new reliever. We'll tell you about him when we return. 4-1, Netherlands out in front. Pat Venditti takes over on the mound for Italy here in the top half of the 5th inning. He will face Callion Sams with first and second now and 2 gone. If you have not yet seen Pat Venditti, come across him in your baseball watching days. He is a fun one. He is an ambidextrous pitcher. Can throw from the right side and the left side. For a time, I think Pat Venditti was kind of seen as an oddity. He played his university level ball at Creighton University in the United States, school in Omaha, Nebraska. And I think a lot of people looked at him as, oh, well, he's just that kid who can throw from both sides. It's just kind of a strange thing more than anything. And then he started showing how good he actually is. Venditti made his major league debut back in 2015. Shots left in front of Poma. 3 straight hits that way. Sebastiano Poma getting a lot of work out in left field this inning. And the bases are loaded with 2 outs as the Netherlands continues to threaten, and it brings up Signarf Loopstock. Venditti debuted in the major leagues in 2015, also pitched 2016 in the big leagues. Debuted with Oakland that first year, saw time with Toronto and Seattle in 2016, then the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2018. Pitched in a couple of games in the big leagues this year with the San Francisco Giants, but not great results. 58 total Major League games over parts of 4 seasons for Pat. Hopefully we'll get to see him switch it up and face a left-handed hitter at some point. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 gone. Pat Venditti inspired a rule known colloquially as the Pat Venditti rule, which is baseball rule 801F, in which he has to declare first what hand he's going to throw with. Call for a conversation with Mineo here. And that was inspired by a moment early on in his career when Pat was pitching in the minor leagues in the New York Yankees organization. I think it was in his debut season. He was with Class A short season Staten Island in 2008, in which he went up against the switch hitter, and each guy just kept stepping out and stepping off and trying to switch handedness, as this bouncer over to third will wrap up the inning. Sams retired on a 5-4 putout, Signar Flugstock, and the fielder's choice bouncer end the inning. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, Netherlands 4 and Italy 1 on the final day of the Europe and Africa qualifier from Bologna. Trying to claw its way back into a game that it led 1-0 after 3 and has trailed 4-1 since the top of the 4th. 8-9-1. Mattia Reginato leads things off. The right fielder who singled to left field on the first pitch he saw back in the 3rd inning and scored the only run of this game for Italy. In Parma, it is all but official. Israel's got a 7-1 lead over South Africa in the 8th inning. Ginato drives that one out to Sams, who just flat out dropped it in right. Getting set to write an F9 in the scorebook, and I don't know how it happened with Kalian Sams, but coming on, and the ball clanks off the glove and drops, so an error charged on the right fielder on a lazy pop. Off the webbing of the glove. So with that win today, Israel would be moving on to the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo, and man, the things that would do for the profile of the sport of baseball in Israel. Used to be a professional league in Israel. Israel Baseball League back in the latter parts of the first decade of this century, I believe, 2007, 2008-ish. Eric Epifano trying to help Italy take advantage of the error that puts the leadoff runner aboard. This one down the right field line, slicing, foul. That'll send Reginato back to first. One pitch. So even though the Olympic trip would be wrapped up with that result up north in Parma, still a lot to be decided with this game, as Italy or the Netherlands will be playing for an Olympic berth in the global qualifying event coming up next March. Second place finisher from this tournament will be headed to that event. 3-1 pitch from the first base side. Two. In the air, down the right field line and well struck. Sounds moving over toward the corner and he pulls it in foul ground. One out and Sebastiano Poma steps in.
Sebastiano Poma.
Couple of unassisted groundouts to first base off of Poma's bat today. That's from that direction. But 1-1 count on him now. A lot of youth baseball and softball players in the house today. That's pretty cool. Function of this event on the final day of the qualifier Sunday, with kids getting a chance to come down and cheer on the Italian national team. 4-1 the score. Poma in the air to left. Rafaela toward the line, and he makes the grab. Similar fly ball, mirror image fly ball almost to the one down the right field line a moment ago off of Epifano's bat. 2 outs, that leadoff error so far not posing an issue. Gavin Cecchini steps in. Cecchini 0 for 2. Gavin reached on a run-scoring error charge to Dwayne Kemp, the third baseman, with 2 outs back in the bottom of the third inning. It's a swing and miss on 0-1. Going to do our mid-game break after this. 5 minutes between the 5th and 6th innings in international play. Intima set from the letters. 0-2 pitch. Shot out to right field. So a lot of work this inning. and he's there to make that catch cleanly and retire the side here in the 5th. Italy gone scoreless for the 4th time in 5 trips to the plate today, and we head to the 6th inning. It's the Netherlands with a 4-1 lead in the final day of the 2019 Europe and Africa Baseball Olympic Qualifier in Bologna. Going to the top of the 6th inning, a 4-1 lead for the Netherlands as we move along from Stadio Gianni Falchi here in Bologna. Seven, 8, and 9 for the Netherlands, which scored 4 runs in the top half of the 4th inning to take the lead in this game. Leading things off. DeCaster back in the 4th inning, an RBI single drove home a couple of runs. There's the frisbee slider from Pat Venditti. Strikeout for Venditti since coming on in the 5th. Thing has some insane movement to it. And fools DeCaster, so he's gone for the leadoff out, and here comes Charlotte Scope. Looks like for the strike. Scope went for 2. RBI base hit of his own. Actually, I beg your pardon, it was Scope's hit that brought home 2 runs. DeCoster drove in 1 back in the 4th inning, that 4-run frame for the Netherlands. To Wall out toward Schultz. Zucchini with a cannon throw to first. John Polonius with 2 gone and the base is empty. In the top half of the 6th. Well, if we were to see Pat Venditti go against a left-handed hitter, it would be next inning if he can get this final out here. Roger Bernardina, 2-hole hitter, and Adamar Rafaela, the cleanup hitter for the Netherlands, both of them from the left side. Strikes on Polonius. Breaking ball that stays in on him. Polonius in the back of the leg. Two-out base runner for the Netherlands, just like last inning. Venditti comes home. To right side. Picked back there by Mazzazzi. Gets it to his pitcher. That's a nice play. The 3-1 putout ends the inning, leaving a man aboard. We head to the bottom half of the 6th. Netherlands with a 4-1 lead over Italy from the Stadio Gianni Falchi in Bologna. For the Netherlands, he will face 3, 4, and 5 as we head into the bottom of 6. Chris Colabello will lead things off, the designated hitter. And the first baseman, Giuseppe Mazzanti, and Alberto Mineo, the catcher. Colabello 1 for 2 so far this evening. Single to left field in the first inning, this afternoon, I should say. Just past 2:20 in the afternoon here in Bologna. We'll just about wrap things up. And actually may have wrapped things up already in our other game on the afternoon docket today. Off the road in Parma as Israel looking to finish off its impressive run through the Europe and Africa qualifier and clinch its trip to the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo. They are 1 out away and finishing off an 11-1 victory over South Africa. The game is in the 8th inning, but the run rule in effect today. And 1 pitch on the way. Colabello takes it outside. 2 out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Intima deals and Colabello shoots one to left. That drops in front of Adamar Rafaela. If he got a late jump on that, it seemed like he read it pretty well off the bat. A leadoff single for Italy. Bottom of the 6th inning, trying to get something started. They've had leadoff base runners in 5 straight innings now, and only 1 time has this Italian national team been able to translate that into a run. Four to 1 the score. Netherlands with all 4 runs in the top of the 4th inning after Italy got one in the bottom of the 3rd. Runs, 6 hits, 2 errors today for the Netherlands. A run on 4 hits, no errors for Italy. Breaker down and away. Mazzanti, a double that nearly got out of here, leading off the 4th inning. Forced it off the top of the wall out in left center field. It's that pitch for a strike. That goes in favor of Intima at 1 and 2. Tip into the glove of Clementina, the backstop. Mazzanti is retired. Second strikeout of the afternoon for Intima. But right in his tracks. Sometimes the right fielder pulls it in. First pitch way up and into Valio. 5 straight innings with a leadoff base runner for Italy. Man, that is a scary moment. Valio doing a good job to dive out of the way of that pitch. Chris Colabello, who was on at first base, hit by a pitch in the face a couple of nights ago against Israel, and sort of opened up into the pitch rather than turning away from it. It's hard to train your brain to have that specific moment of turning away from a pitch. You just want to get out of the way, no matter how it is. As quickly as possible, you try to move to get out of the way of a pitch coming your direction. And that's why Colabello has the face guard on over at first. 3 balls, no strikes. Fastball. Called strike 1. Valio 0 for 2, grounded into a double play and struck out in this game. crushed to left field. Back goes Rafaela, and this ball is gone. We got a new game. It's 4-3. Alessandro Vaglio coming through in a huge spot for his team and slicing a 3-run deficit to a 1-run deficit with a 2-run blast here in the 6th. Got the hands to it, an elevated fastball, and blasted it out of here. Going to spell the end of the day on the pitcher's mound for Orlando Intima. So the Netherlands is going to the bullpen, a single, a strikeout, a flyout, and then a 2-run homer in this inning, and Italy right back into it. 4-3 our score. Netherlands going to the pen. We'll tell you about the new arm when we return. Right-hander Tom Stijfbergen takes over on the mound for the Netherlands here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Stijfbergen inheriting this game from the final line of Orlando Intima. 5 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Stijfbergen with John Andrioli stepping into the batter's box. In a game that all of a sudden looks very different. 4-3 is our score. Stijfbergen, the second relief appearance of the week for him. Allowed a run on 2 hits over 2 2/3. In his first outing, that was against Israel a few days ago, an 8-1 Israel victory. No balls and 2 strikes on Andrioli. Lead 4-1 coming into this inning. Had 2 outs and a runner at first. And Alessandro Vaglio, a big blast out to left, making it a 1-run game in the bottom of the 6th. 1-2 pitch. Bouncing ball left side. Speared over there by Kemp. Long throw, and he gets it there in time to beat Andrioli for the final out of the 6th inning. But 2 runs across on 2 hits. The homer, the big shot. And it is a 1-run ball game as we go to the 7th. Netherlands 4 and Italy 3.
Top of the 7th inning, Netherlands with a lead dwindling from 3 runs to 1 run. It'll be 2-3-4. Roger Bernardina will get things started. We'll get our first look at left-handed reliever Pat Venditti. Has faced 6 hitters as a righty, but switches things up, goes lefty against Bernardina. 1-0, skied foul, third base side and out of play. Our final day of the Europe and Africa qualifier. I want to give a heartfelt thanks to everybody here on the WBSC side who has done such a tremendous job helping to put this event on. Giovanni Pantaleone, Joan Garcia, some of our event staff, Jim Bava, our lead technical commissioner, technical director for this competition, Gustavo Rodriguez, international umpiring director, all the administrative personnel, Francesca Fabretto, who is one of our saviors on a daily basis, Cody Brad, who's helped out with umpires and logistics and all kinds of stuff, and all the dozens of other names that I will undoubtedly forget. This staff and our staff at the U18 baseball World Cup a couple of weeks ago was literally one of the strike 3 call on the check swing there from Bernardina. And no swing, he says. Jans Vader down the third baseline. We've had a fun few weeks doing baseball, and we got a lot more to come coming up in November. 3-2 pitch there, they called strike 3. Bernardina is retired. Second strikeout for Venditti, and that brings up Hendrik Clementina. Premier 12 set to get started in November 2nd to the 17th. Frisbee slider from the now once again right-handed Venditti. No balls and a strike. I'll be in Guadalajara for Group A. Craig Durham, who is up the road in Parma today. He'll have Group B action in Taiwan along with Andrew Reynolds. Group C will be held in Korea. We'll broadcast from there as well. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pitch to Clementina. One hop out to short. Cicchini loads and fires high, but a nice job coming down with it. Mazzanti able to make the tag. Probably could have gone to the bag as well. Clementina was still a couple of steps away. 2 out, and brings up Adamar Rafaela. So Israel is headed to the Olympics. Pretty incredible 5 days of baseball from that Israel national team. And they are the first qualifiers into the 2020 Olympic Games. Samurai Japan will be there, of course. Tatsunori Inaba, their manager, was here last night watching Israel take on the Czech Republic with his entourage. And it shows you how seriously Samurai Japan is taking the 2020 Olympic Games, scouting a team a year in advance that they will see in Tokyo in August and, well, early August of next year. Softball starts late July for the Olympics, as I believe the calendar shows, and then baseball get rolling early August. Two on the way, a little bit low. Venditti back, left-handed against Rafaela. Second lefty bat of the inning. 1-2 pitch,
Lined out to second. Picked on the backhand. One hot to Valio. 3 up, 3 down. The Netherlands here in the 7th. Stretch time in Bologna. Italy still trying to fight its way back in this one. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning, trailing the Netherlands 4-3. Italy headed back to the plate. Bottom of the 7th inning for Italy. The 3rd time today that Mattia Reginato will lead off an inning. He got things started in the 3rd. Leadoff single, scored a run. Reached on an error charge to the right fielder, Kalyan Sams, to start things in the 5th. He was left aboard at first base. Now here he is to open the 7th inning, and the count is no balls and a strike to him. Tom Zweifbergen, the right-handed reliever, on in place of Orlando Intima after the homer. It's a 0-1 changeup. Zweifbergen well traveled in these international circuits with the Netherlands. On the inside corner. Zweifbergen, 30 years old. Former member of the Minnesota Twins organization. Pitched in the Dutch major leagues a lot in his career, and a liner up the middle. A leadoff base hit for the 2nd time today for Mattia Reginato, as Italy has the potential tying run aboard to start the 7th. Here is Eric Epifano. Epifano out of the 9 spot in the order, trying to sacrifice that runner to scoring position. From him to the screen. Eric's name is listed on both the lineup card and the roster as Epifano. It is spelled incorrectly on the back of his jersey. I have him as Epifani. Eric squares, and he does get this one down, back to the mound. Zweifbergen will take that look at second, but turn this one into a sacrifice. 1-4 put out. Reginato to second base. And with 1 out, tying run is in scoring position for Italy in the bottom of the 7th. That sends us back to the top of the order, and Sebastiano Poma. Chilly day in Bologna. Rain earlier today, rain expected this afternoon and into the evening as well. One more game slated for this evening. Czech Republic and Spain will go at, I believe now, a scheduled start time of 4. Bouncing ball right side off the bat of Poma. Scope will throw him out, but Reginato will move on to third. And Gavin Cicchini will try to come through, as he did back in the third inning. On a grounder too tough to handle for Dwayne Kemp over at third base, and scored the first run of the game for Italy. Gave this team a 1-0 lead at that time. Netherlands erased it with 4 runs in the top of the fourth. Cicchini taking ball 1. Having that distinctive low crouch stance. Gavin's brother, Garen, also a former major leaguer. He made his debut about 5-6 years ago with the Boston Red Sox. Gavin bounces this one third base side foul. One-two pitch upcoming to Cicchini. This ball in the air, right side of the infield. No trouble over there for DeCastro, who makes a grab, and that retires the side here in the 7th. Leadoff single doesn't do any damage, and we head to the top half of the 8th. Netherlands with a 4-3 lead over Italy. Yeah. New reliever into the game for Italy as we move into the top half of the 8th inning. Nick Pugliese will take over on the mound for his team. Nick so far in the tournament, get you some numbers on his body of work to this point. Right-handed side armor has pitched in 1 game through 2 scoreless innings. Just lifted in the air, foul ground, third base side, giving chase. And there to make it bad in foul ground. There at Stefano, Callahan Sounds flies out. 1 gone, leadoff out recorded here in the top half of the 8th inning, and that brings up the 6-hole hitter, Signarf Loopstock. Told you a little bit yesterday about Loopstock's very distinctive name, obviously, Signarf, S-I-C-N-A-R-F. If you have stared at it for a period of time, you might have been able to suss out what it means. It is his father's name, Francis, spelled backwards. Signarf obviously got a lot of notoriety back in his minor league playing days in the Cleveland Indians organization for that name. One pitch on the way to him. Shot out to second, and a leaping grab out there by Valio. Got the homer, now he's flashing the leather. 2 outs. Italy's pitching has really settled in since that 5th inning in which they stranded the bases loaded for the Netherlands. That is now 6 straight retired, and 9 of the last 10 for Italy's pitching staff. Good job at the outside part of the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 Kong. Randall DeCoster a single in 3 trips today. And a swing and a big drive out to left field. Moving back on it is Poma, backpedaling toward the warning track. He's there to grab it, and 3 up, 3 down goes the Netherlands for the 2nd straight inning. They've only sent 1 over the minimum since that 5th. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Italy needs a run to rally and tie it, and 2 to take the lead. 4-3 our score through 7.5 in Bologna. Chris Colabello set to lead things off for Italy as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. And the first pitch to him, a check swing, and strike 1. New arm into the game for the Netherlands is the right-hander reliever Kevin Kelly, who takes over in place of Tom Steifbergen. Done after an inning and a third. 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. 4-3 the score. Colabello 2 for 3. He singled to start the 6th inning. 2-run homer followed 3 batters later from Alessandro Valio. Big shot to left that made this a 1-run game. That's where we sit right now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Colabello, a really, really good offensive showing in this tournament. That's just kind of what you expect from Chris Colabello. Former World Baseball Classic roster participant for this Italian national team. Remember the European Championship squad a couple of weeks ago. Here in Parma and Bologna, he has put together a good 5 days at the plate. 1-2 pitch frozen. That is ball 2. He kind of had to bend out of the way of where he thought that pitch was headed. 2-2 on the way. Called strike 3. Kelly starts things with a looking strikeout of Colabello. It's just the 3rd strikeout today for Netherlands pitching. 1 man gone. in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Great breaking ball. Colabello just buckled with that pitch. First pitch misses to Giuseppe. He almost cranked a home run of his own back in the 4th inning. Leadoff double that hit high off of the left center field wall. Fastball blown by him to put the count at 1-2. One-two on the way. Called strike 3, throws him again. Back-to-back looking strikeouts for the first 2 into the box for Italy here in the 8th. That brings up Alberto Mineo. And a visit to the pitcher's mound would be the end of the line for Kevin Kelly, who comes on and does great work through 2 hitters. The Netherlands heading to the bullpen again. I'll tell you about the reliever when we return. Left-handed pitcher Diego Markwell will take over on the mound with 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th inning. Kevin Kelly gets it started in this inning with back-to-back looking strikeouts of the 3 and 4 hitters in this Italian lineup. Chris Colabello and Giuseppe Mazzanti. Alberto Mineo will step in for a lefty-lefty matchup with 2 outs and the bases empty. And Markwell, first pitch, breaking ball is inside for ball 1. Markwell got the start against Israel a few days ago. That's his only experience of the tournament so far. Final line in that game, an inning and a third, 3 hits, 6 runs, 4 walks and 2 strikeouts for Markwell. One of the older guys on this roster for the Netherlands. Markwell, 39 years old. The one pitch comes inside. 3 balls and a strike on Mineo. The way Kevin Kelly was throwing, it would have been served just as well to leave him out there. Face the left field. This is going to be far down the outfield line, but Mineo facing a 3-ball count, then finally gets one he can handle and torches it to right. Markwell shaky at bat. Lefty into the windup. Kicks and comes home on 3-2, and that is ball 4. Clementina thought he had strike 3. He was set to head to the dugout. The pitch certainly looked low from up here. We'll get another pitching change now. The Netherlands Mets content to use everybody available in these latter innings. So Markwell comes on, issues a walk, and departs. I'll tell you about the new reliever when we return. 4-3 Netherlands with the lead over Italy in the bottom of the 8th in Bologna. Third pitcher of the inning for the Netherlands, J.C. Soelbron. Come on with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Carlos Soelbron, J.C. One other relief appearance in this week's events. He threw 2/3 of an inning and picked up a save as the Netherlands finished off a victory over Spain a couple of days ago. One pitch on the way. Off the plate outside. Alessandro Vaglio hit the 2-run homer in the 6th inning that made this thing a 1-run game. There's a 4-1 lead for the Netherlands after the top of the 4th. Vaglio with a 2-run homer in the 6th. Shows the margin of 1 and lines this one out to center field. Bernardina started in a couple steps, goes back a couple steps, and he's there to make the grab. And the 2-out walk issued by Markwell does no damage. We head to the 9th. Netherlands with a 1-run lead, looking for some insurance with 1 inning remaining in regulation ball for these two teams. Come on back to Stadio Gianni Falchi in Bologna, 4-3 after 8. Right-hand reliever Alex Bassani takes over on the mound for Italy as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Bassani in a third of work in the tournament to this point. Pugliese day is done after an inning of his own. 5th reliever to pitch in this game for the Italian side. It is an inning of work, all zeros. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. And Bassani will try to keep the bullpen scoreless day alive and push it through the ninth. Bouncing ball back up the middle, and that's not the way to start it. Leadoff single for Charlon Scope. Man aboard right out of the gate here in the top of the ninth for the Netherlands. Now it's a 9-hole hitter, John Polonius. 0 for 2, hit by a pitch once today. That was back in the 6th inning. He was stranded aboard in that inning. The hit by Scope to lead this one off is the first hit for a Netherlands batter since Valiant Sams singled with 2 gone back in the 5th. Unloaded the bases, but the Netherlands left them loaded in the top of 5. He's trying to sacrifice Scope as a potential insurance run into scoring position. One pitch, point down, first base side. Bassani will go with the shirt out at first. Sacrifice bunt moves Scope into scoring position. That'll send it back to the top of the order and Dwayne Kemp. Kemp, this is the 5th trip to the plate tonight for him. Reached on a strikeout wild pitch back in the 4th inning. Kemp scored a run in that inning. All 4 came across for the Netherlands in that inning. That lead is held to now. It was 4-1 at that point, leaving the top of the 4th. Italy with 2 back in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a miss on 0-1. No balls and 2 strikes on Dwayne Kemp. Thing diving down under the hands. Bassani home on 0-2. And a foul ball as that thing hops just to the wide side of the bag. Actually took its last bounce on the fair side and then crossed over into foul territory where it was fielded by Eric Epifano. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Netherlands. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Italy. Right-hander ready. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, tapped out towards short. Cicchini hustling, fires it to first, and got it there ahead of Kemp. So 2 outs. And a chance for Roger Bernardina to add the insurance run the Netherlands has been seeking in this inning as Scope moved to third base on the ground out. And the Italian strategy is going to be not to deal with Bernardina, the former 8-year big leaguer, so an intentional walk for him. And Hendrik Clementina will be the one to take the at-bat. Clementina 1 for 3 today. He has reached twice, once on a walk, once on a single. Big catcher trying to come through with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Sky's lightning for really the first time today. With a little bit more sunshine coming through. Not much, but some. Miscue as Alex Bassani fires one over the head of Giuseppe Mazzanti. Not only is that error going to bring home Scope, but it allows Roger Bernardina to go from first to third. And it is now a 5-3 lead for the Netherlands. With a chance to add another one on. One pitch. Off the glove of Mineo. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 gone. Leander kicks and comes home. Bassani gets a nice breaking ball in there on the inside corner. Runs on 7 hits and 2 errors for the Netherlands. 3 runs, 6 hits. That pickoff attempt was the first error of the game for Italy, and it cost this team in a big way, turning it in to a 2-run deficit here in the 9th. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, Italy will have the bottom third of its order of John Andrioli, Mattia Reginato, and Eric Epifano. 3-2 pitch. Bassani trying to send us to the bottom of the 9th. 3-2 on the way to Clementina, and he lost him with ball 4. We've had some swift-moving games in this tournament. This has certainly not been one of them, as we near the 3-hour mark, and we'll get a pitching change here as Italy is going to go to the bullpen for the 6th time today. We'll step aside and tell you about the new arm into the game. We return 5-3, Netherlands extending the lead here in the 9th. Left-hander Michael Johnson will take over on the mound for Italy as we move along in the top of the 9th inning. Alex Bassani enters, allows a run thanks to the error on his pickoff throw over to first. A couple of walks. It is 1st and 3rd with 2 out. Ademar Rafaela, who has not been great in this tournament after a white-hot European championship. Just a handful of times on base. He does have one of his hits today, a single back in the 5th inning. 1 for 4 as Michael Johnson tries to get his team back into the dugout. With just a 2-run deficit for the bottom of the 9th. It's the 2-0 outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Kicks and comes home. Ropes down the right field line. That'll add to the Netherlands lead. It's an RBI base hit for Rafaela. Clementina is headed into third base. He gets a stop sign there. But it is a 6-3 Netherlands lead as Ademar Rafaela comes through. A disappointing showing for this Italian national team here on its home fields, as this team, without a big rally in the bottom of the 9th inning, will fall to 2-3 in its 5 games here. These 2 teams play for the European Championship just a week ago. Netherlands took the win in the matchup in the final at the European Championships. Looks as though they're well on their way to doing the same here today. But this game really just to determine a global qualifier participant for next year's final Olympic qualifying event. 11-1 victory today for Israel over South Africa, and Israel rolling through the Olympic qualifier here in Italy onto the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Man, they are going to face some stern tests there. Japan, obviously, with an entrant as the host nation. Their manager, Atsunori Inaba, was here last night. This ball is laced out to left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. That's going to bring home 2 more. In to score from third is Clementina. Rafaela's right behind him. It's a 2-run base hit for Kalyan Sams, and it is an 8-3 lead now in the 9th. Italy has just run out of steam here in this final inning. Still 2 gone. There were 2 outs in this inning with a runner at third base, but that was all, and now it's been intentional walk, double, single. Signar Flupsak, the 8th man to bat here in the 9th. Runner moving, fouled, back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strike count now. Final line for Alex Bassani in this game. 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 3 runs all earned. Bouncing ball out to second should do it. Valio will get the out at first, and that retires the side. But the Netherlands breaks this thing wide open with 4 runs in the top of the 9th, and we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's an 8-3 lead over Italy here in Bologna. Eight to 3 our score as we move into the bottom of the 9th inning. 4 runs across for the Netherlands in the top half of this inning. And John Andreoli will lead things off as the first man into the batter's box against J.C. Solberon in this final half frame of regulation. Takes strike 1 over the outside part of the plate. There's a swing and a drive down the left field line. That'll get down on the warning track and hop over the wall. Leadoff ground rule double for Andreoli, his first hit of the day. Getting things started in the 9th. On the right note for Italy, trying to claw back into this one, down 5 now. That'll bring bring up Mattia Reginato. Mattia is 2 for 3. He has been aboard all 3 times he's been to the plate today. Single and a run scored back in the 3rd inning, reached on an error to lead off the 5th. He was left on in that inning. He also singled leading off the 7th and was left on. Check swing flare, first base side foul. Oh, 1. JC comes home and freezes Reginato on a breaking pitch at the belt. For the right-hander's first strikeout. And the first out of the 9th inning. So now Eric Epifano. Pitch on the way there for a called strike. Breaking ball again. AC Silberon, just get on, throw strikes, get outs, and get your team into that global qualifier. That is the task here in the 9th. Right-hander kicks in, deals, and the 0-1 driven out to right field. Over toward the line goes Sanz. He'll make the catch on the run. Tagging Andreoli, he moves into 3rd. But Italy now down to its final out here in Bologna. Coming into this tournament, I think you would have looked at this game and thought that has a very good chance to be a play-in game for the Olympics. And Israel flat out dominating both of these teams, setting itself up going into the final 2 days, needing just 1 win to make it to the Olympics, and Israel accomplished that today with an 11-1 victory over South Africa. So the final man into the box, perhaps Sebastiano Poma. Two balls and no strikes on him. Leadoff double in this inning for John Andreoli. Poma back in the leadoff spot in the order. He swings and lifts one. High in the air to left. Rafaela didn't see it right off the bat, but now backpedaling, he is there to put it away. And the Netherlands will finish this weekend with a 4-1 record and a 2nd place finish behind Israel. Congratulations to the Israel national team on to the Tokyo Olympics in 2020 as we wrap this one up. 3:25 in the afternoon, just about 2 hours and 50 minutes, and the Netherlands with a big-time victory over Italy. Our final score in the matchup between these two European rivals is the Netherlands 8 and Italy 3.
I'm Gifting Gope, Major League Baseball player. Please support international baseball by subscribing to CBO TV.